Most of this webinar is not going to have a visual component, but in order to record it, I have to show you a desktop background. So this is what you're going to see. So my name is Ian Alexander. I'm the co-founder and CEO of RepairTech, and here today joining me is Troy Anderson, CTO and co-founder of RepairShopr. How's it going, Troy?
Hey, going good.
Cool. So thank you everybody for joining us today. We're really excited to talk to you about automation in your IT business, whether that's MSP stuff, computer repair business, general business, whatever it is. We're happy to talk about it. And then also if you guys have any questions or you've done anything cool with automation in your IT business recently, we'd like to know about it. If you want to ask any questions, feel free to put them in the little questions box there. And we will either get to them like during the course of the webinar when it's a relevant answer, or we'll do it at the end, and we'll leave some time at the end for questions and whatnot. So what we wanted to do today was talk a little bit about our background so you can understand why we're even talking to you, why you should care, and then talk a little bit about why you should automate stuff in your repair business, and then go through a bunch of different ways you can automate stuff and stuff you can automate. So Troy, do you want to give your background a little bit? Let them know what you did.
Yeah, so I kind of did a lot of the evolution of different computer repair things. So I did tech support in '99 for Microsoft and Verizon Wireless, and then I started doing family members computer repairs for a couple years, and then opened a real business in 2003, with a van going around doing, break fix kind of neighborhood computer repairs, and then got a commercial office, park kind of office in 2006 for a couple years, got into a little bit more business support, doing networking groups and stuff, and then started doing along the way doing some websites and other things and dabbling in programming, but got into business MSP at that point. Had a customer with 1,200 employees and 40 locations and 600 machines under management with an RMM and a few employees in that business. Sold my computer repair shop, or my wife, business partner, got that sold. Yeah, so that's the short version. So I've touched a lot of tech, and that was before learning how to program and building RepairShopr.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess my background is I was computer engineering in college, and then I've been fixing computers since I was 14 and building them. And in college, I worked as a bench tech at a repair shop, and then eventually opened my own repair shop and sold it. And then I've been talking to techs specifically about automating the computer repair process and other parts of their business since 2011 now every day. So have a lot of fun automating stuff. So, okay, cool. You have a little bit of background about us. Let's talk a little bit about why you should automate things. We want to be really clear here. We're not specifically talking about computer repair process stuff or PSA stuff in particular. I mean, obviously that is part of it, but for a lot of businesses, and again, I may say something here that you already know, so you'll have to forgive me, but in your business, a lot of times you have trouble growing, mostly because you're getting caught doing the day-to-day work that is kind of not actually growing your business, it's operating your business. And so the more stuff in your business that is repetitive that you're doing every day, whether that's billing or accounting or marketing or customer relationships or invoicing or whatever it might be, if you can automate those things, then you can spend more time thinking about your business outside of the box rather than being in it and then things staying the same day to day. So that's a general theme. Obviously, it's pretty obvious. So let's just jump in real quick and talk about different things you can automate in your repair business. Troy, what are some of the things that you did in your MSP that you felt saved you a lot of time?
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a lot of things in, computer automation can be done, but I think, going back a little bit before then, one of my favorite stories to tell that was, the most important and meaningful thing to automate in my business for me was actually like part of the genesis of RepairShopr, coincidentally. But it was like I was using an email ticket system and a standalone invoicing system, and I was doing like a marketing, like an email campaign a couple times a year, and every time I did it, a blast email, I'd get like an influx of jobs. So I'd email everyone like from BCC from my Outlook, or like from, I think this is before MailChimp was popular. I was probably using like Constant Contact or something. So I'd send an email out and I'd get like 10 or 20 jobs over the next week, like mentioning the email. And then I'd get too busy and I'd stop because I'd be like in the day-to-day. And I always kind of knew I need to send like an automated follow-up to people, you know, a month or a week or whatever after a job is done to like keep them, you know, ask them how things are going, keep them on top of mind. And, you know, I ended up rigging something at the time, like 2007 or something. I ended up rigging something so that when an invoice was done, our employees would click one link and it would go to like a Joomla email, like drip email component thing that would automatically subscribe people to it, and then that would like start doing drip emails. And that was like such a big little automation I did, just like rigging a link into this PHP-based invoice system I had to like make drip emails start happening automatically. You know, we immediately saw like another few jobs a month come out of just that one tiny thing. So that's like a major thing that I really made more robust in RepairShopr. But yeah, like there's probably, you know, 20 other examples of things like that that everyone that's been doing this for a while has done. And just hearing other people talk about it, I think is probably like super valuable. You have any stories like that, Ian?
I mean, yeah, I would say the thing that I most saw as like a problem in my computer repair business was the time it took to fix computers. And that's kind of why we actually made TechSuite in the first place, which was our like first product for RepairTech. I saw like a problem, which was that I was going through this checklist I had and running the same tools over and over and over on every single computer, clicking next and finish and remove. And I actually counted one time, and it took on average 887 clicks to fix a computer, which is a lot of clicks. So, and don't hold me to that number. I didn't count on that many computers. So I would say that's probably the example that stands out the most to me, mostly because it led me to starting another company. But like now that TechSuite has like gotten that down, I think that had I started a computer repair business again, my problem probably would have been more based around like customer relationships. So the email stuff you mentioned, probably like marketing and getting feedback from customers as to like how things can be done better. And then also like the invoicing and billing part. I know a lot of like our customers ask all the time about how they can automate their billing for Kabuto, for example. They have like somebody that's on a recurring billing cycle, like a yearly billing cycle, and they want reminders that they should bill them and all that stuff. That's all really good stuff to automate. So I know RepairShopr does some of that. Maybe you can speak to like the need there.
Yeah. So to another thing you were speaking about automating computer repair, like just anecdotally, in my shop, I had like these 5 things I would always do to every computer, and yeah, if I had something like TechSuite, I surely would have used it, but I would like uninstall certain programs, uninstall toolbars, set the power profile, make sure they had up-to-date like Flash and some media codecs. You know, back in the day, you had to install media codecs to get anything on the internet to work, so we'd always do that. If there was no antivirus or an expired antivirus, we'd remove that and put ours on. So like, yeah, those are good candidates for like automation. If you can make all those things one click, that's more time you can be like more patient on the phone with a customer that's calling, because you're not like scrambling to click 800 times to do a repair or something. That was really good stuff. On the billing side, so I have a story about my web hosting business. Lack of automation actually killed my web hosting business. So back in 2010 or 2011, we had a friend who had a web design and hosting business doing like Joomla and WordPress. There's about 250 paying customers on a like dedicated server cPanel hosting thing, and we took that over, and it was using QuickBooks recurring invoices for the billing. And what happened is every month someone's credit card would start failing, and the recurring invoices would like stop working. And in QuickBooks, that's not like an easy thing to see, like who's just failed, let me address it. So inevitably there'd be some people that were like paying for their domain renewal on our account, and they're not paying us back for it. And then all these people would stop paying us for hosting because it was super hard to figure out who hadn't paid us. And then, you know, this cool recurring billing thing in QuickBooks ended up like every single month our recurring revenue was actually like dropping, and it was super hard to figure out who to turn off and stop renewing domains for and stuff. And you know, over time it just dwindled out to like 0 because we couldn't figure out or didn't get in front of it fast enough to like you know, put in real automation that actually like nagged people and then shut off their website and, you know, made people pay when their credit card failed and stuff. So maybe a chunk of those people, and this is like a big failure, but like maybe a chunk of those people didn't even know, and then we kept their site active because we didn't even know. Like perfect storm of just lack of automation. So that's like kind of burned into my memory. So yeah, what else were we talking about? Invoicing. So yeah, I think the holy grail is like if you can do a recurring bill that tells people when the payment has failed and reminds them to pay. Like if your Netflix bill stops going, you know, your credit card fails or whatever, they're going to tell you a few times and try and figure out a way to like get your money again before blocking you. Like that's the ideal scenario. I think specifically to Kabuto, we'd like to actually get there with a RepairShopr Kabuto integration. Wink, wink. But yeah, I mean, if people can figure out how to get a report that shows who owes money, that's nice and easy, and you know, do automated billing on those people, that's going to save a ton of time and keep your monthly revenue growing like in a really meaningful way. We see the best growth in the RepairShopr customer database is people with recurring billing, just like by far. So.
Nice. We have a question here from Janine. Is Kabuto able to sync with QuickBooks? It's not at the moment. I think Troy just hinted at like we might try to expand an integration that way so that because RepairShopr syncs with QuickBooks, right, Troy? How does that work?
Yeah, so if you used a Kabuto and RepairShopr integration, you could do recurring billing to charge people for their Kabuto devices. You could actually do like automated counts too, so if like one customer had 4 computers and then added a 5th, the invoice could automatically go up. You can do stored credit cards with Stripe and Ventive and Authorize.net for RepairShopr recurring billing. So, and then those all immediately sync to QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop or Xero. So we've got like that stuff figured out. In the future, there should be some like automated reminding and some other really cool stuff that we don't have detailed out yet, but I'm just going to tell you guys anyways. It's coming soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So Paco has a question. Any chance of pulling asset information like the serial number and tags, etc., over to RepairShopr from TechSuite Bootable? Yes, there's a chance. Will it happen soon? Probably not. It's far more likely to happen with the Windows app, actually. But TechSuite Bootable is a very painful thing to add features for, so it's just less likely it'll happen. It's Linux based, and I don't even need to get into that. So yeah. Okay, so
Windows side soon.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, the Windows side will happen soon.
1 to a few months.
So Troy, I'm curious what you think about like automation on the marketing end. Like you mentioned Marketer or something like that, right? Like the MailChimp type thing. Like what in your MSP, what either did you automate or wish you could have automated on the marketing end?
So first for like my MSP, this was like early days of MSP, back in, I keep saying back in, but this is all like, 6 years ago or whatever, like 2009 or something. There was no one doing MSP for home users, and I didn't all my business people that I was doing managed services for were on like monthly contracts, so I actually kind of didn't market to them. I just neglected them. Like I know there's ways to do add-ons and upsells. Currently, there's like a lot of people have come up with really clever ways to do, you know, keep selling more, managed backup, managed antivirus, all that cool stuff. I just did all you can eat and then didn't market those people. But I do wish I had done more of like any business that popped in, just send them like a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month, 18-month little email that was like very personal. So back in my computer repair days, I had a business client that was a big insurance company that was like a family friend, was like biz dev guy way up, and I helped them like navigate a couple key purchases of large software. And one of them, this is probably 2004, there was this company, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for software that would do pretty intelligent automated drip emails. And it was basically, they called it like lead nurturing, I think, but basically an advanced marketer that was like, you know, you put a lead in, it would send them an email, this cadence, and then if they replied, it would like change the schedule and alert you and stuff. So I kind of had like this team of people in this boardroom trying to sell this company this thing, and this is where I kind of got all my ideas for marketer. And it kind of boiled down to like, when you're sending drip emails, don't put a bunch of images in, don't make it look like your marketing team wrote it, make it look like a real human wrote it. Like if there's questionable grammar, that seems more real, more like human, and that's like a better drip email. So I like took all those things to heart, and when we put marketer in, like our canned thing that everyone can like one click set up a 14-day follow-up is like written by me in like 1 second, and it sounds very much like me. It's just like, hey, it's been a couple weeks since we fixed your computer. How are things going? Let me know. And then there's like a name, and maybe like a Facebook link to your page or whatever in the signature. And that's like a good place to put like maybe a Yelp link if you want to kind of hint at people to give you Yelp reviews or whatever. But you can do that very subtly, and then people will reply to these emails and be like, hey, actually, there's a new problem or whatever. Like I feel like those super personal emails that actually sounds like something you would actually write to someone if you were actually just writing a quick check-in thing and you had 30 seconds to spare to do it. I think those seem authentic, make people feel like you actually care and are thinking of them, and that's like the best automated email marketing you can do, in my opinion. I think the big blast things for once a year are good and they can kind of move the needle, but they don't build a relationship. It's just they kind of get your brand out there but don't build a relationship, in my opinion. So marketer has a very basic editor because it's really hard to make a fancy editor like MailChimp or something for the big newsletters, but it's got a good enough one to do these personal follow-up emails, and I think everybody should be doing those, like no matter what. Everyone that actually does it basically tells us like, yeah, people reply to them, people thank me, like it builds conversations, people forward the emails to their friends, and then I get new business from it. Like, if you go look up reviews of RepairShopr online, I'm sure you'll see a bunch of people saying like, marketer has added so many jobs per month. Like, it's real. It works. Whether it's marketer or the million other things that can do drip email. It can be, your own invoicing system in MailChimp. Like MailChimp can do the same thing. So can SendGrid and 100 other tools. But it's nice when you've got it all in one place too. That's kind of the RepairShopr way. Put it all in one place.
Nice. We got a question here on that note, Troy, from Ricky. He says, what about marketer and SMS? Is that something that's been thought of?
It has been thought of. It's just not allowed by like every SMS provider that's upstanding. Like there's no real precedent for SMS marketing to be allowed. I think consumers just hate it. So like no SMS provider will do it. I don't know what the actual laws are, but like we use Twilio. They're like the world leader maybe, or at least in the US, they're like the leader in doing SMS as a service, and they don't allow it. We've looked at a couple other big ones. They didn't allow it. So you can find some little up-and-coming SMS provider that doesn't really care so much. about their reputation, and they'll do it. But not to say, I'm not saying it's illegal, but I'm saying that big providers won't do it, and so we're not doing it.
I have some ideas there. Actually, there's a company that I know of that they don't do exactly that, but they have a model for it.
Yeah, if there was like opt-in and people were saying, yeah, text me stuff, like, and there was a provider that was happy to do it, like, we'd be totally open to it. I'm sure it can be done in a good way. Like, my doctor's offices are always texting me when I've got an appointment and like, hey, it's time to schedule an appointment. Like, I think that's totally reasonable. And just we need to find like the right fit.
Yeah, definitely.
John, this Redbox sells via text. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's ways to do it. If you put in your cell phone number and you reply stop and they actually respect it, like, yeah, we'd have to do quite a bit more research to figure out like a really good way to do it. Keep collecting emails, though. It's been proven time and time again that email is like the most effective direct marketing channel out there. So maybe SMS will be like the up and coming, but email is super valuable.
Ricky says, one thing that I've been looking for as a one-man army is some sort of reviews generator that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. I'm not sure what he means by reviews generator.
I think there's services out there that say like, we'll get you, put in your customer's email here and we'll like try and get them to give you a bunch of good reviews or something. Like we've been contacted to integrate these types of things. So my like not knowing too much about the space is like, Yelp doesn't want you getting a bunch of like first-time reviewers to review you. They'll hide all those. They just know they're all fake and that you requested them. So in my shop, I would always tell people, go give us a Yelp review, and then 50 of the 53 reviews were like hidden, rightfully, because those aren't like, they weren't real, honest, like active Yelp community people. They were like people that went and registered to give us a good review because they really liked us, and Yelp doesn't really want that stuff happening. But I think if you have links to your place pages in your email signature and marketer, and then if in your automated email follow-up things you're like, hey, let us know if anything went wrong, if there's anything we could do better. I'm always, looking for that kind of feedback from our customers. If everything went well, click here to, tell others what you thought. And that link could go to a page on your website, like yourwebsite.com/review us, and then you could give people instructions to like, hey, we really care about reviews from these 3 or 4 sites, so if you really had a good experience with us, please go tell other people here. We at RepairShopr do that. When people give us a good Net Promoter Score rating, we ask, hey, would you like go tell other people? Like, that's really helpful for us. And I think, Yelp doesn't want it, but there's plenty of review sites that are okay with it, and I think it does still help at Yelp, even if they're burying them. Like, I think people still see those. So, not legal advice on the Yelp thing. I don't really know on exactly what you're supposed to do there, but that's kind of my feeling on it.
Yeah, I always kind of stayed away from. The computer repair shop that I worked at before I opened my own, they did a really good job on Yelp because their whole, they were a customer service first kind of repair company, and they were like really did things properly, and because of that, they were like the most highly rated in the San Francisco Bay Area. But for a lot of other companies, they kind of, I don't know, to a certain extent, I think, focus too much on Yelp and not enough on like SEO and like getting good organic search results and having a good name. Like that's when I started my computer repair business, the thing I did right was I had a really good name, and everything else followed from there because it just did really well on Google. Okay, so we got some other questions here.
Let me take the
yeah.
Ricky says maybe that could be built into with plugin to display star rating on site. Like I definitely think today you can put a link to Yelp in Marketer and put a Yelp badge on your website or a Google Places badge on your website. Like you don't need us to build anything in Marketer to do that today. any other automated email thing. I just want to, we get that question a ton, and I don't think we speak to it anywhere, like in our knowledge base or anything. But I just want to make sure that was said. We've got quite a crowd here today.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I have a opposite question. Do you think there's anything in your MSP that you absolutely did not want to automate?
Say that again?
Do you think there's anything that you encountered while you were running your MSP that you felt you absolutely did not want to automate?
I did not want to automate emails to keep people at business clients. Like the idea of marketer doing a 14-day, hey, just saw you, just fixed your thing, how are things going, to like this COO of a $50 million company, like just, he would know, like, dude, you were just in my office yesterday, why are you sending me this follow-up email? Like, I definitely thought a lot about that and didn't want that to ever happen. Other things, invoices, when you've got like a 20-person company you're working for and you've got scheduled invoices going, no matter what system I was using, QuickBooks or RepairShopr, I did not want those like monthly invoices to get sent out without me looking at them. So I would actually have them generate and not email the customer, and I would go double check them. I mean, it's still automated, but I wanted a manual touch there. Someone's going to get an invoice from me for a few $1,000s. Like, I kind of want it to be right, because if you get those wrong a few times, your credibility is like totally shot quickly. There are other things I did not automate. Any executive, so like I'd have employees doing all the basic help desk stuff, but even if it was something simple like a browser install or a printer fix or something with like top executives at any of my clients, I would pretty much all do those myself. That's not really automation, but delegation. I would, if like the CEO of a customer's mom needed help and he referred her to us, I would, at least until I really got to know them, like I would do those all myself. Even if, like, let's say I moved on from being out in the field doing like little printer installs and my staff was doing that for like a couple of years, I was like out of the field, CEO's mom needs a printer install, like I'm going out there, because that's like great chance to make them like me, build relationship. Like I actually do care for my customers a lot, so I was very personally invested in them all like actually liking me, and if anyone didn't like me, I didn't want to go out there and fix their stuff, so they'd stop being my customer. So like the relationship was very core to me, and making sure I was never sending them an incorrect invoice was very important to me. I can't think of others, but if anyone sparks something, I'll mention it.
Cool. One of the things that I wanted to mention that hasn't been mentioned yet that I had the most fun with, just in business in general, automating, is like random integrations with Zapier. I think a lot of people are probably familiar with Zapier at this point, but you can basically integrate anything with anything. So if somebody sends you an email and it has these words in it, you can send someone else an email, or it integrates Dropbox with Google Drive, or whatever it might be. So finding patterns for things that I do really often or that people on my team do really often, and trying to find a creative way to eliminate all or some of that work is really fun, because Zapier doesn't require any coding. I mean, we do a lot of integrations and stuff where we have to do manual, we have to write code for it, but Zapier is all like just GUI based.
Totally. Also, that was my favorite thing to integrate. I still people ask us for hey, can you integrate RepairShopr and ShipStation? And I Google it real quick, and Zapier has ShipStation, so you can actually make a ticket status to trigger a ticket getting sent, basically on demand to Zapier, which gets sent to ShipStation. So you've got an integration at your fingertips if you just spend the 15 minutes to try it out and test it out. It's so cool. I had a Exchange account for another company that I kept having calendar things pop in, and I wanted those to show up on my RepairShopr calendar. So like Zapier, anytime there's a new calendar thing changed in Exchange, like add it to your Google Calendar. You know, there's a million things like that. It's so cool.
Like everything that I thought of to, you know, to go over. So, Troy, is there anything else you want to add before we do Q&A?
Audio's cutting out. No, we kind of talked about a bunch of the like high level and some of the points I was thinking of. I like question and answer.
Any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the questions box. It can be, you know, computer repair stuff. It can be MSP stuff, tools, any kind of automation stuff, or just general Q&A. I think that Derek mentioned something called House Call Pro. Are you familiar with that, Troy?
No, I just saw that. I was going to Google it. It looks like it's service business scheduling software from the page title. Looks cool. I will say, like, as RepairShopr tries to build everything in, we are definitely working on some good scheduling stuff too. So, you know, hopefully if you're a RepairShopr user already, you don't need to go add this. But if you're not using anything and this fits a need you've got perfectly, like, looks good. Yeah, this is like software to schedule field service. There's a lot of them.
Nice. Yeah, we got a question here from Alex. He says, I'm not sure if I missed it or not, but did you guys go over TechSuite? And then the next question is from Jordy, which is about like what tools people are using to automate virus removal and diagnosis. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really want to explicitly go over like any of our products because it wasn't meant to be like a sales webinar. But for those who don't know, we do make, you know, software for automating the computer repair process. So that's one of RepairTech's products. It's called TechSuite. It does everything from your whole checklist. So everything from virus removals, cleanups, tune-ups, updates, working on a data migration tool. There's like all kinds of stuff in there. So you should probably be able to see my screen now. I think that's probably a lot of the people in this webinar are already like TechSuite subscribers. So I won't like dive into it too deep, but you basically get a Windows app where you can automate stuff and you just select what you want to run. You click start, come back to a report. I mentioned earlier that that's like one of the things that was the biggest problem for me when I was running my computer repair business was automating the repair process. So that's why we started RepairTech, is to do that. You also get a bootable utility for like hardware diagnostics and an online dashboard where you can do all the results from those reports that both of those tools generate. So I would say the vast majority of the people in this webinar probably use TechSuite. So there's that. It does include a bunch of virus removal tools, per your question, Jordy. So everything from like MCSoft anti-malware to like other tools that you are familiar with.
And it integrates to RepairShopr, so the report gets stuck on the trouble ticket. So if anytime, you know, a month or a year later you need to look up what was done, you've got your search box in RepairShopr, type their name or scan the barcode that's on their computer or whatever that you put on it, and you'll like see that RepairTech report that showed every scan and every virus that was removed and everything.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Cole, we do give webinars for TechSuite. They're free. We give them twice a week. If you are a potential subscriber or you already are one, it doesn't really matter. You can just sign up. You go to resources and demos/webinars here, and we have, you just click view times and sign up. So they're every Tuesday and Thursday.
This is Cole and Jordy from... Okay, Cole says it is. These are some of our best customers, Jordy and Cole. Again, definitely follow up with them.
Yeah, and this just goes kind of for anybody. If you guys have questions after the webinar, I'm going to put my email in here, and you can just go ahead and shoot me an email. And there it is. Cool. Any other questions, guys?
Just a lot of Jordy and Cole saying how much they love us. Cool.
All right. Well, we'll wait just like another minute and see if any other questions pop up. Otherwise, we really appreciate you guys coming out today and joining us. And I did put my email in there, so if you have any follow-up questions, go ahead and email me, or I'm sure you can already get in touch with Troy. So thanks, guys, and have a good one.
Bye, everybody.